Transforming Rotarians. We hope you have a good day. Welcome to our District 3800 Public Image Seminar 2020, hosted by the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong and the Rotary Club of Wakwak. Rotary International District 3800 presents District Public Image Seminar 2020.
Together we have one voice
Featuring our top caliber guest speakers.
We're on a mission.
For Rotary's brand, we have past District Governor Ernesto Choa from the Rotary Club of Bagong Bayan, Manila, to talk about Live Your Rotary Story Now, Share It Later. We have past President Allison Fry from the Rotary Club of Perrysburg, Zone 30, Ohio, USA. And to learn more about authentic storytelling, let's hear it from past President Joshua Santos from the Rotary Club of San Juan del Monte. Hosted by the Rotary Club of Wakwak and the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong. Just log in to our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And to start our program,
good morning. By virtue of the duties and responsibilities entrusted to me by Rotary International, and in my capacity as District Governor of Rotary International District 3800, this District Public Image Seminar is hereby called to order.
May we call on our Master of Ceremony, past President Bill Daland from the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong.
Thank you very much. And at this point, we will now remember that we are in the presence of the Lord.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury or pardon, Lord, and where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Master, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving of ourselves that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life.
Pambansang Awit ng Pilipinas.
Rotary flag as the flag of peace unfurled. I shall serve my community, help achieve universal unity. To Rotary I shall dedicate my all. World understanding shall be my cherished goal. With a four-way test, I'll pursue my quest. If in my little way help attain peace in the world, I shall not have lived in vain. Above self, lend a hand to all who need my help. I'll get my spouse to involve in Rotary, and in Rotary ways I will train my family. With a four-way test, we'll pursue our quest, if in our little way attain peace in the world, we shall not have lived in build a bridge for tomorrow's youth, strengthen nothing but the truth. Let's join our hands, there's no reason we'll divide. We shall all understand why the good Lord is our guide. With a four-way test, we'll pursue our quest, if in our little way of the day. Peace in the world, we shall not have lived in vain. Peace be achieved, we shall not have lived in vain.
point, we will now have the introduction of Rotarian dignitaries and guests by District Secretary Carla De Jerez via Zoom.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, let me start off. Of course, with our District Governor, Anthony Tony P. and Parungaw, and spouse Lana. Past District Governor and District Vice Governor, Jaime James O.D. Our District Trainer, past District Governor, Jose Pepe Peralta. District Co-Trainer, past President, Bienvenido June C. Angeles Jr. And so some of our past district governors are here. Let us give them a warm round of applause. Also, our future district governors, let's all give them a warm round of applause. Let me also acknowledge the members of the District Executive Committee present. Of course, we have with us our distinguished speakers who will be appropriately introduced later in the program. We have with us Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zone 10A, past District Governor Ernesto Ernie Choa from the Rotary Club of Bagong Bayan, Manila. He's one who is very early, who checked in early for this seminar. We have Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zone 30, past President Allison Fry from the Rotary Club of Perrysburg, Ohio, USA. And last but not the least, from our roster of speakers, we have District Awards Committee Chair, past President Josh Santos from the Rotary Club of San Juan del Monte. Now for the roll call. We have a lot of registered Rotarians and partners in service for today's webinar. So I know while we cannot see each other physically, you're there virtually. Let us do some clapping, waving, or cheering to make our presence felt, as I call the delegates by zone. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 1. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 2. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 3. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 4A. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 4B. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 5A. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 5B. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 6. Transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 7. And my zone, transforming district officers, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians of Zone 8. Okay, and now we acknowledge the spouses, Rotaractors, TRF alumni, and all partners in service of District 3800. And of course, not Last but not the least, let us give a warm round of applause to the Rotarians comprising the district public image team led by the district chair John Lam of the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong, together with the host clubs, Rotary Club of Mandaluyong led by Transforming President Ernie Lim, and the Rotary Club of Wakwak led by Transforming President Chris Vian Oro. Let's give all of them a warm round of applause. Happy listening.
Welcome back, everyone. At this point, allow me the pleasure of bringing on board live from studio
The chair of the District Public Image Committee, the handsome and ever dapper John Lam.
District Governor Tony B. Barungal, transforming presidents and fellow Rotarians of District 3800, good morning. On behalf of the hosting club of today's event, RC Mandaluyong and RC Wakwak, I would like to formally welcome all of you to our seminar this morning. As we try to navigate ourselves in the new normal, we will encounter obstacles that would affect what we used to do. But if we try hard enough to get through these challenges, we might be able to open opportunities for ourselves and acquire new knowledge. And one such opportunity is today's seminar on public image. Broadcasting live from our command center in Pasig City, we are able to reach out to Rotarians in every corner of the archipelago. We are very fortunate to have three wonderful speakers who will share their amazing story with us. We have past District Governor Ernesto Choa of District 3810, respected Rotary leader, to talk to us about the Rotary brand. We have also invited a guest speaker from the other side of the globe to join us. One of our guest speakers this morning will be connecting with us live from Ohio, USA. Past President Alison Fried of District 6600 will be discussing about the importance of seizing the moment and living your Rotary story. Last, but definitely not the least, we have past President George Santos, an advertising and communications practitioner from our very own District 3800, to share with us his insight on effective storytelling. As host for today, I'm definitely as excited as everyone else here. Let's all of us ready ourselves and begin to learn as much as we can in the next couple of hours. Thank you very much for joining us. Good morning.
Now, to introduce our district governor, we have District Secretary Benji Liboro. The floor is yours via Zoom.
27 years ago, in July 1993. At the time, he was a very young 31 years old, and that he became president of his club in 1999, still at a very young 35 years old. One of the presidents 2000 who served under District Governor Jose Pepe Peralta, and I am proud to say one of my classmates. You probably have known also that he has served our country as Undersecretary for Legal Affairs of the Department of Agrarian Reform, and that over the past 20 years, he has served the district in many capacities, positions, and responsibilities. So let me just try to share with you now the things that I have learned about our district governor from working with him close up. Although Tony P. is no shrinking violet, I find him a very humble person. He is a very excellent lawyer and administrator, and this is borne out by his being co-founder and past managing partner of his law firm Santos, Parungal, Aquino, and Santos. And yet, I have never seen Tony P. try to dazzle anyone with patronizing legal interpretations. Unlike some lawyers I have met, nor obscure any issues with legal speak. He is always very transparent and plain-spoken. Tony P. is very loyal to his alma maters. During the heat of the annual UAAP basketball competition, whenever the University of the Philippines is playing, he is dressed in maroon and he is there cheering loudly for the state universitarians. But when UP is not playing, he never forgets the Blue Eagle in him. Tony P stays fit. He tries to run 1,000 kilometers every year, and he actively exercises his arm, elbow, and wrist. If you should ever see Tony P looking tired and drained, the quick antidote will be anything that reads Yamasaki, Hibiki, Hakushu, Nika, or anything Scottish that reads single malt and 15 years old or older. Yes, Tony P is a single malt and he can sing very well also. And as a Pampangueño, he loves good food. I have always regarded Tony P as a model Rotarian, not because of his passion and commitment for Rotary, but because he has always been very well informed on anything to do with Rotary. When Tony P was first selected and announced as district governor nominee, and up to the time we held bets 4 months ago, I don't think any of us could have anticipated that this Rotary year would be anything other than business as usual. The fortunes have dealt us a totally unexpected cards. This year is turning out to be a year without precedent in the last 100 years, possibly with the exception of the Second World War. We are expected to invent a totally new and different way of being effective Rotarians and Rotary clubs. Somebody else, competent, but without the mental fortitude and imagination to accept a seemingly impossible situation, might have tuned out and merely gone through. Fortunately, we have a district governor with the strength, the courage, the energy, the creativity, and the relative youth to lead us through the challenges of this totally new and unique Rotary experience. He will have the full support of his transforming presidents and all Rotarians, spouses, and partners of District 3800. He has the backing of a great club, the Rotary Club of Marikina North. He has the support and encouragement of his spouse, Lana, an exceptional corporate leader in her own right, and his 3 lovely daughters, Paulina, Isabella, and Andrea. And finally, of course, he has all those Japanese and Scottish friends to pick him up whenever he is down. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, my honor and pleasure to introduce to you our District Governor, Tony P. Parungao. Thank you. Thank you.
Here are some videos of District Governor Tony P.
again, and thank you very much for your patience. I'd like to start off by thanking everybody who took the time to register and to watch the proceedings here for our District 3800 Public Image Seminar. And in particular, I would like to greet, of course, our champion governor, immediate past district governor Nelson Aspe and his spouse Mila, our past RI director Rafi Garcia and spouse Minda, our regional Rotary Foundation coordinator June Farcon, the esteemed members of our district's Council of Governors chaired by Governor Mari Luco, the hard-working members of our District Public Image Committee, my transforming presidents and district officers, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, our lovely spouses, good morning again. As the case may be, good evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to greet, of course, our guests who registered, who are not from our district, who are from abroad. Let me start off by greeting past District Governor Ray Castillo of the Rotary Club of Downtown San Juan, who is our Regional Public Image Coordinator from District 3820. My classmate, Governor Keith Hodkinson from the Rotary Club of Tiffin, Ohio, USA, from District 6600. District Governors-elect Art Ke and Ana Bumagat of the Rotary Clubs of Tugigaraw and Ormoc, respectively, District 3770 and 3860. My good friend, a friend of Philippine Rotary, Governor Doug Vincent of the Rotary Club of Woodstock, Oxford, Canada, of District 7080. Past District Governor Marie Brenner of the Rotary Club of Sandusky, Ohio, USA, of District 6600. May Andrea Katigbak of Rotary Club of Lipa, and Beth Directo of the Rotary Club of Camp Aguinaldo. So wherever you may be, good morning and good evening. Thank you for being here with us. You know, I've always received queries as to why is it so important to follow Rotary's branding guidelines? Because, you know, some Rotarians feel like they're the branding police and would like to correct everything, every design that's come up, that clubs come up with. Or for that matter, whether public image really makes any difference or matters in a time of a global pandemic. Or if the answers to those questions are yes, how can we create engaging content when we can no longer go out in the streets and do the projects as frequently as we want to? Well, the answers to those, of course, are that the branding guidelines of Rotary, which have been with us for a long time, are very important to establish the public image of Rotary. That, of course, that public image even matters more now in the current situation, and that engaging content depends not just on the things we do, but also on the ideas that we have, on being authentic and relatable, especially to people we want to join Rotary. The more people we get to be part of Rotary, the more projects we can do, the more funds we can contribute to the Rotary Foundation, the more projects that are funded, the more members we have. It's an ever evolving circle. No? So public image to me is very important. It has often been overlooked in the past. Normally we just we focus on membership and the Rotary Foundation, but public image for me is equally important, if not more so, at this age of the pandemic where we are now plunging neck deep into the digital age, especially in social media. So the answers to all of those questions will be elaborated upon by a fantastic lineup of speakers we have for today. But before I close, I'd of course like to acknowledge and thank, because I don't have the opportunity later, the host clubs for this seminar, the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong and the Rotary Club of Wakwak, especially their respective events chairs and co-chairs in the persons of past President Archie Uy, as well as our most outstanding champion President Ray Pineda. I'd like to give a special shout out to the District Public Image Committee, chaired by past President John Lam, with Buboy Campos as Vice Chair. They have been doing a hell of a job these past few weeks, and there will be more to come because we take seriously the role of the district to support the clubs in enhancing Rotary's public image conformably with the second strategic priority of Rotary International, which is to expand our reach. Sit back, relax, and enjoy and learn from this most informative public image seminar. Thank you very much, and good morning and good evening.
And now, fellow Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen, on with the show. At this point, I'd now like to call on a very good friend, Transforming President Ernie Lim, to introduce our first speaker for today. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, PP Bill. Good morning, fellow Rotarians. Please allow me the distinct honor of introducing our first speaker for this morning. Ernesto Ernie Y. Choa joined the Rotary Club of Bagong Bayan, Manila in 1991 and has been a continuous active member for 29 years now. He served as club president in Rotary year 2000 to 2001 and served as district governor of RI District 3810 during the Rotary year of 2011 to 2012. He has been actively involved in Rotary training in the following capacities, and some of which are the District 3810's Rotary Leadership Academy for 6 years from Rotary year 2004 to 2010. Currently is the RLI Philippine Division Head for all 7 districts. PDG Ernie also served in the following capacities: RI President Mark Maloney's representative, RI PR to RI District 3630, Jong-hee Soo, Republic of Korea, Rotary year 2019 to 2020. Rotary International Representative to the Asian Development Bank, Rotary year 2020 to 2021. PDG Ernie's work in Rotaries was recognized with the following awards, and some of which are: he was presented Outstanding Service Project Award by Rotary International President Frank Devlin during the 2000 Asian Presidential Conference, and was recognized internationally during the 2001 San Antonio, Texas RI Convention, receiving RI President Frank Devlin's 21st Century Membership Challenge Award trophy, an award given only to the top 100 clubs worldwide. During his governorship, RI District 3810 was awarded and presented as one of the top 15 districts worldwide by RI President Kalyan Banerjee during the 2012 Bangkok Rotary International Convention. PDG Ernie is an active supporter of the Rotary Foundation and its programs. He is a major donor to the Rotary Foundation. Through all this, he derives his energy and inspiration from the full support given by his loving spouse, Lady Celine, and his 4 children, Christian Elizabeth, Errol Casey, Clarice Evangeline, and Kalei Iliana. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome PDG Ernesto Ernie Yao Choa.
So, again, thank you so much to my tokayo, Transforming President Ernie Lim, for a very kind and generous introduction. Governor Tonipi, to my classmate, past RI Director Rafi Garcia, past district governors, District Public Image Chair Jan Lam, senior Rotary leaders, transforming presidents, fellow Rotarians, good morning. Yeah, I'm here representing the Zone 10A Public Image Team of Rotary Public Image Coordinator, past District Governor Ray Castillo. District 3800 is actually assigned to me together with District 3810. So I'm very glad to have been invited to speak before you this morning on the Rotary brand. Okay, this short course will help us understand Rotary's brand, the benefits of a consistent, recognizable brand, which would help us better understand to follow Rotary's branding guidelines and how you can strengthen Rotary and its brand by being a Rotary brand champion. So what is a brand? You may think of a brand as simply a product, for example, the kind of rice or bread or coffee that you buy, or you may think of a brand and advertising slogans. So when you think of Rotary's brand, you may think of our name and the Rotary wheel. It's true that logos visually communicate an organization's brand, but we have to take note that the brand is always more than its logos. Rotary's brand is definitely much bigger than its wheel. So what else is a brand? We have to show our Rotary brand for people's perception, because after all, a Rotary brand is a matter of perception. This is not how Rotarians see ourselves, but rather how others think about us. When we talk about the Rotary brand, we are talking about the basic qualities and goals that unite all Rotary clubs and districts. Our brand reflects our identity, our vision, and our essence, as well as our values. People's perception of Rotary comes from their experiences along with the stories and the images that we share. The Rotary brand must have an established emotional connection. It has to create a bond between the club and the public and its community, as well as with its members. The brand itself should constitute a connection between Rotary and the community it serves. The Rotary brand should be our link. And what is a promise? A promise is a commitment to offer a unique value and experience to those who do not know us. Describing and showing ourselves as people of action creates a personal connection to the organization and emphasizes the impact that Rotary makes in our communities. We are a distinct concept. We want Rotary to stand out from other organizations and appeal to all our audiences with compelling and consistent messages. And lastly, we have to make it a recognizable logo. Consistently and repeatedly, it provides instant recognition and understanding. So let me bring this further forward. Now let us take a look at these logos. With strong brands, have a consistent visual identity. It should have a consistent and compelling communications. It should have positive experiences. And above all, it should have brand champion. Here in my statements, all those that I have enumerated carries the word consistent, which means they should not change. One good example is McDonald's. McDonald's is a good example of an organization that use these elements to create a strong brand that is recognized around the world. An organization that has a strong visual identity, instantly recognizable without saying a word. No matter where you are in the world, when you see the golden arches, you think of nothing else but McDonald's. A visual identity can include a logo, colors, fonts, and its photography. An organization's voice, what it says and how it says it, expresses its personality and attitude. It can be formal, serious, or irreverent, or it can have other qualities depending on how the organization wants to represent itself. It has to have a consistent, compelling communications. The words we use in our communication help convey our brand image. The McDonald's brand message focuses on the customer experience with slogans like, "Love ko to," "I'm loving it," Look for the golden arches, and you deserve a break today. When we see love koto, these words already compresses the communication that you will love what you eat. And to many, it even creates cravings for this mouth-watering offering. It has to possess a consistent positive experience. One day I was at the McDonald's and seated across my table, I saw a boy eating his McDonald's burger, and he was eating it with so much gusto, minding the dripping of the ketchup and the mustard all over his mouth and fingers. And I thought, wow, this little guy is truly enjoying his food, eating it the same way. True enough, it is a question of enjoyment. Never mind getting all messy, but I am enjoying the food. This enjoyment provides the necessary cravings in the future. So as they say, the consistent and positive McDonald's promises the people will know exactly what they will get at one of its restaurants, an environment that's comfortable for families, affordable prices, the same way, every time, no matter where. Now look at this photo of a young girl holding her bag of fries. She's not eating her fries yet, but you can see how her expression conveys to us her happiness and the expectation of how she is going to enjoy that bag of fries. The brand champions are the people behind the camera who help communicate and promote what the organization's brand promises. Photography plays a big part in bringing our brand and message across. So all of us, kasama ni mga selfie photographers, amateur or professionals, whether you use a big DSLR or simply your cell phones, are championing our brand whenever you take photos of Rotarians as people of action. Rotary brand champions are responsible for what message we set in the pictures we use for our public image. So what now is Rotary's brand? In order to have a better understanding of what Rotary stands for from other organizations and why Rotary matters today, we need to know where we are, or what we call our essence. Our essence statement states that Rotary joins leaders from all continents, cultures, and occupations to exchange ideas and take action for communities around the world. Our essence originates from Rotary's vision statement, which states that together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Explains who we are, what we care about, and what we do. Current and emerging leaders who come together, form relationships, and create a positive impact in communities at home and around the world. It also reflects define Rotary, which are fellowship, integrity, diversity. Rotary's brand reflects our essence. Again, by focusing our communications on our essence, we reinforce what Rotary stands for, how we differ from other organizations, and why Rotary matters today. This approach makes it possible for each of us to develop our own powerful statement about our clubs and collectively to tell a compelling and cohesive story about Rotary. We want people to think of Rotary as an organization committed to use our connections, experiences, and skills to work together to create lasting change. That Rotary clubs work with their communities to develop trust and create bonds so people want to join, donate, volunteer, or work with us. That Rotary joins leaders from all continents, cultures, and occupation to exchange ideas and take action to create lasting change in our communities. That is our promise. We are, again, distinct in that Rotary uses diverse perspectives of our more than 1.2 million members to solve the world's most challenging problems, and that people becomes aware of who we are and what we do when Rotary marks and clubs consistently and correctly use our logos and our templates. Similarly, each Rotary and Rotary clubs benefit when we all correctly use logos, fonts, colors, and photography to strengthen our brand. A strong brand helps expand people's understanding of what Rotary does. Research shows that although people are aware of Rotary, they don't know all that we have accomplished. When people in our community understand what Rotary, they will be more interested in being a part of the club. A strong brand helps our clubs increase membership, volunteers, and partnerships. Having more members, volunteers, partners, and donors means we can do more good in the world. The more we do, the bigger the impact we make in our communities around the world. A strong brand helps Rotary get noticed. I'm sure we are all very much aware that Rotary is competing against other organizations. This is a reality. We compete for people's time, we compete for money and other resources. When people recognize our brand and understand Rotary's impact, they appreciate the unique opportunity to make a difference, and they would in turn want to join us and want to partner with us. A strong brand inspires our current members. When members are recognized for their work and for the work that Rotary accomplishes and are energized to do more work, to make more action in their clubs and in their community, it helps Rotary expand our reach. Again, when people know who we are, what we do, and why it's worth their time, then we can achieve Rotary's vision. Again, that together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And now that we have a better understanding of why we need a strong brand, let us take a look of how you can help strengthen Rotary's brand. We are all champions of Rotary. People's perception of Rotary comes from their experiences with our clubs and our programs, along with the stories we tell and the images we share. It's every member's responsibility to help strengthen Rotary's brand. Use Rotary in all your communications. Find guidelines and templates in the brand center to create logos, brochures, and other promotional materials that adhere to Rotary's brand. Use the People of Action materials in the brand center. How your club is taking action to make a difference. Invite family members, friends, and colleagues to learn more about Rotary. Promote your club activities on your club's website and social media pages. Promote your club at events and projects. This photo was taken during the Penafrancia Fluvial Parade as it passes by the End Polio Now billboard of the Rotary Club of Naga. Ang gandang tingnan, di ba? Additionally, let us protect our visual identity. Obtain and get Rotary merchandise only from our licensed vendors and use the resources and logos in the brand center to create your promotional materials. In closing, and as a review of our objectives, we hope you now have a better understanding of our Rotary brand, why we need a consistent, recognizable brand, and how you can strengthen by being a brand champion. So thank you so much for your time. Good morning to each and everyone. God bless.
Thank you very much, past District Governor Ernesto Chua. You should be very proud. We've read all the positive feedback that you've received. So at this point, we will now introduce our next speaker. And for this, we now call on Transforming President Cristian Oro.
She is the past president of Perrysburg Rotary, a 115-member club in Northwest Ohio, USA. A Rotarian since 2001, she has served in many club, district, and zone roles and currently serves as the Assistant Public Image Coordinator for Zone 30 and the District 6600 Trainer. Professionally, she works as Vice President and leader of Treasury Management Signature Bank at the Signature Bank, a commercial bank in Toledo, Ohio, USA. Her specialty is in government and nonprofit organizations. She is a called-upon public speaker and panelist for regional organizations such as the Ohio University Council, Bowling Green State University, United Way, and Penske Trucking. Her passion in presenting for Rotary includes topics like public image and branding, creating an irresistible meeting, experience, and how volunteering with Rotary can impact your career. She serves on the board of her local YMCA, Girls on the Run of Northwest Ohio, and the Bowling Green State University Alumni Board, which she will chair in 2021. She was named one of Northwest Ohio's 20 individuals under the age of 40 in 2012. She enjoys attending Rotary events, listening to music, exercising with friends, and creating new adventures with her two daughters, Abigail and Mackenzie. The best thing about the month of July has been watching the musical Hamilton on Disney Plus and spending 2 weeks in northern Michigan Bay by the water. Without further ado, let's all welcome our next speaker, Allison Fry.
Good morning, everyone. I am happy to be joining you today from, the introduction shared, I am from Toledo, Ohio, or Perrysburg, Ohio is my home club in the United States. And I just thought I would pop up a quick map to show you where I'm at. So there is the state of Ohio. The blue star is approximately where I live. And I put another small blue star up a little bit north because that is where I have been spending a few weeks in July to get away and have a little bit of break and spend time by the water. So I am incredibly honored and grateful for the opportunity to join you today. It has been the highlight of my week, seeing the marketing and the promotion for this event. And I'm so incredibly touched that so many people wanted to talk about this topic, because public image and branding and sharing our Rotary story is, in fact, one of my favorite things to talk about with Rotary. Before I start today, I wanted to share a little bit about my club, because what is so interesting about Rotary is with all the clubs that we have so much in common, and we have some things that are a little bit different too. So I thought I would give you a little taste of what my home club, the Rotary Club of Perrysburg, is about. So in the upper left-hand corner, there's a picture of me kind of fist bumping a gentleman, and my club is about a little over 40 years old. And that gentleman is actually the third generation in his family to be our club president. So he was the president immediately before me, and his grandfather, his father, and then he was our president. So I think that's a very neat tradition to pass along. And I hope someday my children become the president of my club. We are a club that provides service to our community. As you can see from the bottom photos, we like to make meals for people, give away meals to folks that need it. And then sometimes, as you can see from the large fake check that we're holding in the top middle, sometimes we like to just give money away to other organizations that help our community. And then one fun thing I like to say about my home club, the Rotary Club of Perrysburg, is I believe we are the only Rotary Club in the world that has its own rock band. So those are some of my lovely friends from my club. And in the background, you can see there is a gentleman playing guitar and a woman singing and someone playing drums. And we are excited that at a lot of our club events, we have our own rock band that plays some of our favorite songs from our culture. So that is one unique thing about my home club. We also do work with youth and clean up our communities. We have fun and eat ice cream together. So we are a social and service club of about 115 men and women. And I am pleased to be able to join your district, which is very similar in size to my own district. I believe you have a few more clubs than we do. We have 64 clubs and about 3,500 individuals. So the story today starts with quarantine life. And these are the two individuals I spent most of my quarantine time with, my daughters, Abigail and Mackenzie. While many in our area were working at home and needed to stay home because of orders that our government had to stop the spread of COVID-19, I was actually still going to work. So the picture on the right is a picture of some individuals in my office. And through the quarantine, I was still, financial institutions were still open, needed to be open. And so most days I went to work during quarantine. However, there were some dates that really changed my life this spring and really caused me to think about the story of Rotary. So on the 13th of March, Ohio, the state I live in, began a shelter-in-place order. And what that meant was that if you were not working in an essential business, you were to stay home. The only businesses that really remained open were grocery stores and, again, financial institutions like I worked in. Nearly everything was closed. My children came home from school and began studying online. And life as we knew it, friendships, all the social events that we had planned, our president-elect's training seminar was canceled. Our district camp conference was canceled. Our district training assembly canceled. On April 12th was Easter Sunday. And as a backdrop to my personal story, my ex-husband and my father of my children works as a frontline healthcare worker. And so we had decided on March 13th, when the shelter-in-place order began, that he was not going to see the children other than in our driveway for socially distant visits with masks. We were concerned about him contracting the virus or bringing the virus home. For us in the United States, it really had only started in the March timeframe to start spreading. So we were behind in preparation for this virus. We went nearly 1 month from the 13th of March to April 12th with no contact indoors or no overnights that my children saw their. But on Easter Sunday, it was difficult. It was a day that we typically have family, and we broke down. We decided to share a meal together. After he went home, he called me about 4 hours later and told me that he had a fever of 103 degrees, but he wasn't coughing, and there was no other symptoms that we were concerned about. On Monday, he woke up, still felt bad, but called the doctor and did a telehealth medicine visit. They told him that likely, due to the fever and some pain he was having in his ear, that he just had an ear infection. So they gave him an antibiotic, and he took that for a couple of days. And on Monday, April 15th, he went to work in the hospital that he works at. Within a few hours of working, he suddenly was not able to breathe. He had the classic COVID shortness of breath. At that point, he had not coughed. He had not had any other symptoms other than a fever for 1 day. And then the lung symptoms came on. As he works in the emergency room, literally took him from working and checking on patients over to where he He admitted himself to be checked out by the doctors that he was just working side by side with. They took a scan of his lungs and immediately could tell that he had contracted COVID-19. They had not done the test, but they could tell from the way his lungs looked that he had it. They immediately then transported him to the hospital that I've showed the picture of on my slides. It was in our area, what they had decided to do was make one hospital the place where anyone with COVID stayed. So he was admitted to that hospital and began care there. I say that April 15th to April 29th were the longest day. Those 2 weeks felt like 2 years. I sat in anticipation wondering if I was going to get COVID, if my children would get COVID. At the same time, there was incredible worry for their father because he went nearly 7 days with no improvement in symptoms, only increasing his oxygen dependence with no improvement at all. They were long, long days. Every time I wasn't able to take a deep breath, I was scared. I remember one day just going for a run because I told myself if I could go run 3 miles or 5 kilometers, I didn't have COVID. They were hard, hard days. And really, Rotary was the last thing I was thinking about during those days. There is good news, though. The best day of quarantine was April 19th when he was able to come. This is him, the exact day he got out of the hospital and was able to give his girls a virtual hug in our driveway. We are lucky. We are very lucky. He made it. But it was a very challenging few weeks, and it totally changed my perspective of what this virus can look like. And with so many people in your district, I am certain you have been touched by it too, whether it's someone you know personally, perhaps another Rotarian, perhaps your friends or neighbors. But this is a very real virus that has caused a lot of concern in our world. And it has really caused Rotary to completely change as an organization. So here we are, and I did a little bit of research in the state that I live in. We have about as many cases of COVID-19 as you do in your entire country of the Philippines. We're, I think, around 80,000 cases, and you're just shy. We have twice as many individuals who have died from COVID in our area, and our numbers are increasing. So when our world is just all up in arms, when we're not sure what we should be doing and what is most important, what does public image even matter in an unprecedented time? Is now the time we should be promoting our work or thinking about a marketing campaign, attracting new members, figuring out how to raise money? What does this even mean in a time that none of us have ever lived through this exact situation, perhaps other struggles in our areas, countries, in our lives, but this is definitely an unprecedented time. A few months ago, I was asked to speak on this topic, and I really felt I didn't have anything to say. Most of what I have said generally about public image is related to what PDD Ernesto shared. It's branding, it's our logo, it's our messaging, which I feel very strongly about. But right now, we're in a different time, and I felt like we're writing a new story right now. When we look back in 15 and 20 years, we will look at 2020 and likely 2021 and 2022 as the time when Rotary wrote a new story, that our organization that has largely met in person and done in-person projects, that has worked globally and locally, that all of a sudden we are going to be a very different organization, perhaps one with less layers of leadership, perhaps with a more nimble organization ready to act faster. But I do believe that right now we are writing a new story. So I allowed myself to think for just a minute, what do I want that story to be? When this is all said and done, and I think we all know this is not all said and done and will never really be all said and done until there's a vaccine and we are safe. What is our story going to be? So I've taken the liberty to come up with what I believe and what I want the story to be. And you're not going to see a lot of Rotary logos on this next information. This is simply images and thoughts that I have related to where we're headed next. Rotary talks often about the three-legged stool. In our training, in our sessions, we talk about membership, and we talk about foundation and public image. And we know these three things work together. They work best together. That the more members we have, the more giving we have to our foundation and the more good service work we can do. We know that when we have good work and good projects and good stewards of people's money, that our public image is strong. So this is our three-legged stool. But stools are something you can sit on, and stools are also tripods for cameras, and cameras give you the real picture of what an organization is. That is our story. Whatever is that real, true picture that you see through the lens and can capture. If public image is about telling our story, capturing that good picture, what story is being written right now? The first story I think is being written is that Rotarians understand global connections. I remember the very first time I really thought about my place in this world and that I could have some impact on it. And it was all the way when I was in high school. I was probably 16 years old, and I joined an organization where we wrote letters to those who had been in prison for humanitarian reasons, to governments, to political officials, to try to get the release out. And I remember writing letters for somebody that had spoken up against corruption in their town. And I remember we got a letter back and we found out that the person had been released. And I remember that feeling that, wow, I am in Ohio. I am one 15-year-old and I could do something about a problem across the world. It was enough that every week, twice a week, I arrived at school an hour early, and my friends and I would sell donuts to kids coming into school, and we would raise money so that we could have more postage to write more letters. But the thing is, Rotarians have always understood that we have global connections, and right now is no different. It's why it is now 10:21 p.m. where I live, and it's 10:21 a.m., and we can make this meeting work, that I can be a part of your amazing session today, because we understand that globally, we are not independent. I'm sad a little bit that in my country, we were not prepared for COVID-19. We saw what was happening across the world, and we were not able to do much about it. I think we sort of believed we would be untouchable in some sense. But Rotarians understand that there are global connections, that we are part of a bigger story. The other story that I hope is being written right now through all of this pandemic is that Rotarians are good neighbors, that we're not just the neighbors that wave when we're walking down the street, but that we're the ones that truly ask, do you need anything? Can I help you with something? That we post in community groups. Can we carpool for school next year when so many are going to be working from home and juggling their careers and their parenthood? We are ones who ask elderly individuals, do they need help with groceries? Can we do lawn care for them? What can we do? I think Rotarians are good neighbors, and right now, when we are not able to go to international conventions and when we are not able to travel to our zone and district events the way we used to, that we will be good neighbors, that we will live out the Rotary spirit with those who we are shoulder to shoulder with, the people that we can hold hands with and we are right next to doing daily life with. I hope the story we write through all of, and that people look back and know that Rotarians are good neighbors. The other story that I really hope we take from this time in Rotary is that friendship is one of the greatest gifts Rotary offers. I'll be honest with you, my heart aches to be back with some of my Rotary friends. I see many of them on Zoom and occasionally can see some of them with a mask in a small group, but I miss those times when I can be together with my district Rotarians at an event, even if it's a few times a year. And when I get to see my zone friends, maybe one time a year, I cherish those moments. I cherish the experiences. There is something to be said about having friends who have that same common thread, who believe that we can make a difference, who believe that humanity, that the individuals in this world are really the plan A. There's no plan B. We are here to make the world better. The friendship of Rotary is one of the greatest gifts that we offer. My district governor, Keith, is on this call today, and I think we had a great way to show some friendship and some of the power of the friendship to him earlier this year when his son passed away. Because of COVID, we were not able to gather to do a typical funeral, but instead, Rotarians drove some over an hour to simply drive by his house, get out, place a flower on his lawn, wave, say hello, give our respects to him without hugs, without handshakes, and then leave after, again, 30 seconds, a minute, a short period of time. That is the friendship and power that Rotary has, and those are the stories that we will look back and remember. This story, I think, is incredibly powerful for Rotarians. I hope that when things get back to some semblance of normal, that we will say that Rotarians are not afraid of change and that we can change quickly. I think of some of the things that I had tried to change when I was president of my club for just a short year, and it is difficult. It can feel like you're personally offending people when you suggest something different, or when we try to take leadership levels out and just allow anybody at whatever their expertise level is to serve and use their gifts and talents without having the title. But I believe right now we are changing fast and furious. I attended a Rotary Club meeting this week that was both in person and on Zoom, and people wore masks, and we were able to have an experience for both the individuals who felt safe enough to come to the meeting and those individuals who wanted to remain virtual. We are changing quickly. We're adding areas of focus. We're figuring out how to do our training in methods like this. We are connecting with each other online in ways we never did. We're adding more and more resources to Rotary.org to help us do our jobs. We have more data than we've ever had. And I hope that we look back and think, wow, in the 5 years, starting in 2020, Rotary just catapulted. We moved so quickly. We made great changes to help our clubs and our members. Another very important story for us to remember is that it's not about us. I see Rotarians right now doing work in all different organizations and not worrying about the credit. They're not worried that they're passing out meals in the name of a local agency or in the name of Rotary. They're building houses in the name of other organizations, but just doing the work behind the scenes. Rotarians truly have always to help their world and their community. They felt it was the right thing. But even more so, I hope we look back at this time and think this wasn't about us. It was about making our world, which is upside down right now, the safest, the healthiest, the best it can be. Because here's the thing, many of the problems and issues that we worked on before COVID-19, they are still happening. We still need clean water. We still need economic development. We still need babies to be born healthy. All of the things that we have felt passionate about, those have not gone away just because there's a virus. We have to do that work. We have to support the agencies and the community workers that are working on these things. And we have to not be worried about the credit. We just have to do the work and know that when we do the right thing, the story will be there. So the thing I felt through all of this, and I am understandably and thankfully on a good side of this story. I don't know what is to come from me and my family. I don't know who the next person that I am close with will be affected by this virus. But I do know that right now, more than anything, it is important for us to live authentically as Rotarians, to look to help people as much as we can. As club members, we need to be acting. We need to have our eyes open all the time for opportunity to serve our community. And what we're doing there is we're writing our story. We're not worried about, staging the story so that it's the right message when it's all done. No, right now is all about authentic action. It's finding opportunities and seizing them. It's finding those little chances that you have to make a difference and not skipping them, not saying somebody else will take that work on. It's doing it ourselves. One of my favorite movies of all time, and books, I should say book, I did read it, is the book Little Women. And what I love about this is the oldest sister, Jo, spends her whole life, well, her young adult life, trying to write that story that the newspapers would pick up, the stories that would get published, the things that would help pay the bills for her family. And truly, her success came when she wrote her own story, the story of her family. And that was when, that was really what helped me think about this idea, is that what created the greatest story is that they lived it. They just lived their lives. They did what they needed to do. They were remarkable women, but that later on they were able to capture that and write it down. And that truly became the best story that they had, was their own lives. I think as Rotarians, we are doing amazing work. I know you are. I'm watching your district governor share his photos of his year, and I can see that you are not stopping. You are helping your communities. You are providing medical equipment to frontline leaders. You are honoring your club leaders and your members. You're jumping in on seminars like this. So I know you are not, you are people of action. You are not people of non-action. But I encourage you to inspire your club members, the ones who aren't on this call today, to continue to serve and to be proud to be Rotarians. Share that information in the ways that you heard from the PDG, Ernesto, about the proper branding. All of that is very important. But the biggest thing right now is to just live your story, and then you can write it down and author it later. The best stories are always written in retrospect, and I believe that to my core. So from Toledo, Ohio, from the Rotary Club of Perrysburg in District 6600, happy writing. I hope you have an incredible story. I look forward to following your stories. I hope that I can meet many of you in Taiwan next year, but if not, I know we can remain connected virtually. And I know that the power of Rotary friendships is strong. I want to thank past President John Lamb for inviting me and his wonderful work on this session, and District Governor Tonipi for inviting me. It's been a real honor. I'm happy to take any questions. I think there are some questions. There's some time for that. But other than that, I will let you get to your other amazing speakers. And I wish all of you to have an incredible Rotary year and to stay healthy. Passion with Rotary in your busy schedule. Well, I think that is a good question. I do love events where my children can be a part of Rotary, but I think that every time I do something good in the name of Rotary, it fuels the passion to continue. And currently my passion is helping our presidents get as good at their job as possible through training and development. And I find that to be a big passion. I also see a question about how does the pandemic affect your life as a Rotarian in the United States? So I don't know exactly how things are for you, but I would say our clubs are a mixture. Some are meeting in person and some are meeting virtually. There are continual, it seems like every week, the rules change about what you can do in our state as far as being out in public. So we have recently come under a mandate where you must wear a mask if you're in public. There's a few exceptions, like when you're working out at the gym, you don't have to wear a mask, but otherwise you do need to wear a mask. So that, I would say, is the big change. And we are, of course, trying to figure out how to support our clubs during this time, because many club leaders volunteered to do a role where they thought they would be leading an in-person meeting at a place they always did. So we're asking a lot of our leaders to think on the spot and change their plans. As I said, I've really enjoyed watching everybody join this call and all of your messages. I think You're doing some incredible work, and I would be honored to visit someday and meet some of you in person. Hopefully Taiwan too. Okay, well, I will turn it back over to the host, and again, have a great weekend, everyone.
Our next speaker is a story of grit, passion, and vision, three elements of achieving success at a young age. His life is proof that the future is bright with the young in the forefront of leadership. Josh, as we call him, is known for being a visionary and perfectionist. The only thing you can expect when he plans anything is perfection. He will surprise you and redefine what the word perfection means. He is an award-winning Rotarian from the Rotary Club of San Juan del Monte, where he served as president during the All-Star year, under the governorship of past District Governor Jojo Lorenzo. Despite being one of the youngest Rotary leader in the district and probably in the country during that time, he was able to achieve the #1 most outstanding president and deliver the 9th Significant Achievement Award for their club. He also served in various key positions in the district, such as the District Public Image Chair, Senior Assistant Governor for Zone 7, where he won first place as Most Outstanding Senior Assistant Governor. He is also a member of the editorial board of the prestigious Philippine Rotary magazine in 2018-2019. Josh is the youngest DGR, PRM, and District Training Committee member to date in our district that served last 2019 to 2020. Currently, he is the district's award committee chair in the transforming team. Josh is an advertising and communication specialist and is the president and CEO of Creative Impact, a company he founded 7 years ago. He has handled numerous brand campaigns and is the genius behind the recently concluded district handover and induction ceremonies held last month. Aside from all of this, Josh is the current political communications head of a basic sector representing in the 18th Congress of the Republic of the Philippines. He makes sure that the advocacy of the office is properly conceptualized, executed, and communicated to all of its stakeholders. He is one of the best when it comes to communications and crisis management. Aside from being one of the most dynamic leader in our district, Josh is one of the best storytellers I know. An advocate and leader, stories are important in changing the lives of our communities and immortalizing our collective legacy. Nobody has been able to deeply understand the need for accuracy, respect, and the delicate nature of stories as much as him. Today, I am honored to introduce and listen to a person who has proven that the heart, not age, defines wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, my very good friend, past President Josh Santos.
I am very honored to be here today with all of you. So let me share with you my presentation first. All right. So good morning, everyone. District Governor Anthony Tony P. Parungao and spouse Lana, past RI Director Rafi Garcia, RRFC Virgilio June Farcon, our past district governors, transforming presidents, our Rotarians, friends, and family, good morning to you all. In Rotary, most of you know me as a member of the Rotary Club of San Juan del Monte. Some know me as an all-star president. For my all-star classmates, I just wanna, can you give me a hi there? All right. So some of you would also know me as a Discount Talent Night competitor. For my inspiring Zone 7 presidents, they call me the Relentless Senior Assistant Governor, and many, many more. So let me share with you who I am outside Rotary. I worked for Creative Impact Inc., an advertising and events company which I founded 7 years ago and caters to many credible brands here in the Philippines. I am also a political communications head of a political office in the 18th Congress of the Republic of the Philippines, both of which I think, modesty aside, have been delivering well on different accounts. So today, I am here with all of you to talk about public image, not just through storytelling, but through effective storytelling. As an advertising and political practitioner, public image in its different forms has been at the front and center of client and brand briefs that I have had the pleasure of working on. In our corporate accounts, public image is inextricably tied to brand image and brand management in general. Meanwhile, in the political arena, public image is tied to a public servant's approval rating to its constituents, a very important metric by which we measure the effectivity of our communications campaigns. You know, being in this industry is not a walk in the park. In my 11 years of practicing, there were many ups and downs. And I say this because there is no perfect formula on how to do it. In fact, there are more downs than up. It is really done through trial and error. And it is up to you to take home those errors that will serve as lessons to improve the next time around. So as you can see, these are the advertising materials or how they advertised before. Remember the black and white TVs, which hindi ko na po naabutan yun. Or the painted billboards. Before, they don't print tarps. They paint the billboards on a blank canvas. They also paint murals of the brands and etc. And then it evolved. It evolved to, well, billboards. Billboards with printed tarpaulins or a mobile billboard, like Walmart. Or a very artistically executed advertising campaign like Cadbury. Or an electronic billboard, like what you see in Times Square, what we see in Makati, what we see in Shibuya Crossing. So they also have this. They also have this kind of advertising public image campaign where they make sure that the consumers or the people have this kind of experience. They want advertising right now, or we want advertising right now to be experiential to its consumers. Of course, that's advertising now, or then again, before the pandemic. But like I said earlier, there is no formula because the times are changing. But it is up to us to embrace and define the now. With that said, I have been pondering how we made every campaign work. And it dawned onto me how our team made it work. And it always starts with the word why. What is your why? The concept of public image is usually taken for granted. And that is why, in my own personal opinion, it is sometimes being executed by many Rotarians as a mere requirement. And most of the time, that intentions show. I'll give some examples. We have RIP. Public image is part of the RIPC. It is part of the awards criteria. So we do public image because it's part of the criteria. No, we should do public image skin deep, not just face value, not just mere face value. We should think deeper for us to be able to execute more, for us to be able to narrate and communicate further. The reality is public image goes beyond that. Because public image is indeed storytelling. And that storytelling should translate to end users of your campaign or to your public image project as you intended for it to be received. Every post you make online and anything you put out in the public will be open for interpretation. And when you or us, when we are not aligned with your why, with our why, that story will definitely be lost in translation. They will not understand what it really is. So I would want you guys to remember these 3 letters. So V, that would stand for vision. Know what your end goal is, what you want, the bigger picture. From that public image campaign, what would you want to achieve in the end? Would you want people to join the bandwagon with you and help the communities for you to be able to help more communities? Or would you want many people? Is your vision for people to be able to create more projects or replicate your projects? So you have to have a vision in that public image project. Next is intent. Why are you doing this public image project? Why are you doing this strategy? Is it to just be there and to look beautiful? Or is it because you want to relay a message to people? Is it because you want people to understand what you saw? Is it because you want people to appreciate life as it is, or the blessings, our blessings in life? Or is it you would want people to know that this is what's happening and we need to take action? The last letter is letter P, that stands for purpose. You need to make sure that for you to know the purpose of your public image campaign. What is the end result? What is your come from this? What is the purpose and the value of your execution? It doesn't mean that the district would tell you, or RI would tell us to use social media, broadcast, Rotary markers, print, etc. It doesn't mean that we do it and we just do it. No, we have to do this with purpose. We have to do this and put to heart why we are doing this, because it will make a huge difference. Now, I am sure at this point, some of you might thinking, what the heck is this guy saying? So, of course, I would like to share some examples. To create social media content sometimes would give a wrong impression to the viewers. Therefore, we should always be mindful on the structure of our posts, and if it will bring you closer to your goal, or well, it might break you if you put it into writing on the wrong way. social media is a tool where you can easily tell your story, but to communicate it effectively and with impact is another thing. So I would want to share with you some things I thought about Rotary. So some years ago, when I was still a Rotarian, I had the impression that Rotary, kinakabahan ako to say this, but but some years ago, I had the impression that the organization is only for the wealthy, that it breeds lavishness and luxury. And some even until today would think that way. But when I entered Rotary, I would like to acknowledge, by the way, past President Pilar Lee, who invited me and who showed me the beautiful world of Rotary. It is so different. Rotary is different. It's way different than what I thought. Now, if you ask me, what is Rotary? Rotary is about hard work. Rotary is about compassion. Rotary is about community building. And most of all, Rotary is about friendships. It's a 180-degree turn from what I thought the organization was. So why did I think it that way? Maybe because before, the only thing I have been seeing, or the only thing that I know, that Rotary is about suits, gowns, hotels, and rich people who were holding tarps, but with heavy accessories, jewelries and accessories. Of course, I feel threatened. I don't feel worthy. Before, when I see that, I don't feel worthy of being in the organization. But I have nothing against that. In fact, I myself, I like to dress up. I enjoy those fellowships. Those fellowships mean a lot to me. But maybe we can consider that when we post different kinds of fellowships online, we post the purpose of that fellowship. We post, for example, if we attend a TRF banquet, the Rotary Foundation, some would just post, I donated $1,000, I donated $10,000. But it's just that. People don't understand. They just see the money. But if you put the story of, or if you post as if I donated $1,000, I was honored because I donated $1,000, and this will go to this. And Rotary has been helping different communities, and Rotary has been going here and there. If you post it like that, the perspective of people will change. And they will not focus not only to what you're wearing or to the amount of money, but they will focus on the purpose. And imagine if you post or present a Rotary post where you show the value of what we are doing, where we are able to save and change lives consistently. When we relate on how passionate we are in our vision, of together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create change, to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. And if and when we are able to successfully put this message across with your content, with our content, that will be magnificent. Always remember that social media is a very, very fluid arena. And there are two things that I would want you guys to think about. Consistency is key, and content is king. Another example, the Rotary International has launched the People of Action campaign where we feature Rotarians at work. So, did you ever think their why in that campaign? Did we even try to start to understand what is the why in that People of Action campaign? According to my research, they said that this campaign is for the people who do not know about Rotary or why it's relevant to them. We hope that the campaign will appeal to potential members who would want to make a difference in their communities, those interested in Rotary causes, and people looking to establish relationships with others in their communities. In short, it is to show relevance. And also, I would like to add, I think Rotary people and Rotary would like us, their clubs and their districts, to show people that they can resonate with us. That people can also be with us, be like us. We have been told over and over to tell our Rotary story. And that is to tell the stories of our beneficiaries and how Rotary or Rotarians were able to help the communities. Sometimes we only put in the beautiful photos. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you all know I like beautiful people. But when you do public image, please put in mind, people are not looking for beautiful. People are tired of beautiful. People would like to know your core. People would like to know what is it in Rotary, the truth of Rotary, the essence of Rotary. That is beautiful to them, not just face value. So I would like you to see some of the social media posts that I have been seeing online that I feel that is very nice. Of course, we have from the Rotary Club, my home club, the Rotary Club of San Juan del Monte. We have from the Rotary Club of Manpasan. We have from the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong. We have from the Rotary Club of Valenzuela West. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they have been showing the emotions of people, showing the emotions of the beneficiaries, showing the objective, the purpose. And this is not just being beautiful. And this is not just putting face value. This is the truth. This is what's happening. And this is how the clubs took action. Also, as I have been proposing before, it will be nice to share your own Rotary story, our personal Rotary story, why you are in Rotary, your learnings in being in the organization, and maybe how you grew as a person. I myself, my own personal Rotary story, to summarize it all, I grew in Rotary. When I entered Rotary, I have worthiness issues. I didn't believe in myself. But when my elders started believing in me, when my elders in Rotary told me that I can do it, of course, my mom would always tell me I can do it, but she's my mom. Oh, by the way, I would like to say hi to my mom. She's watching from Virginia. Anyway, when people in Rotary tell me that you can do it, I remember District Governor Tony P, when he was part of the district training committee, telling me during my pre-pets, I think you will be one of the most outstanding club presidents this year. It felt good. It made me a better person. And with that, I produced better results. Because Rotary is a community that supports each other. Rotary is a community that makes each other grow, that gives growth to one another, that celebrates the growth of everyone. And I hope that people not in our organization would be able to know and understand that, because that is the beauty of Rotary. So I would want to share with you one thing we did in our club 2 years ago during the term of past president, now AG Pleshiwi, during the inspiring term. We launched the campaign My Rotary Story, and this is about sharing the stories of the learnings of our members, what they got from Rotary. Because, the thing is, it's not only the beneficiaries that get something out of Rotary, it's also us. I would always say Rotary fills our cup of life. And I think this is important. Why? Because people will be able to resonate, and people would also see, they're like that. Pwede pala yun. Maybe because of your story, you would be able to inspire people to also join the organization. It is important. I would always say it is important for our viewers to see our organization in human form. With this, it gives them an authentic experience on who we truly are. It will give them a peek of our essence as a Rotarian and as a person. Now, when we create a Rotary marker, the first consideration is the location and permits, and then size. In my desktop research, aka peeking in the Rotary showcase, I found out that most Rotary clubs created markers and said to create awareness that Rotary exists in the community. Let me clarify that I have nothing against that. And I do agree that any campaign that will build awareness to our organization is a step to the right direction. But we can do it better. When I go around in different communities in my non-Rotary capacity, I always make it a point to ask people, may Rotary po ba dito? And most of their replies, ano po yun? Or there were some, or I think one or two, replied to me, dun po sa may plaza, nandun po yun, puntahan niyo po. So I was quite dumbfounded with that answer. And the initial thought that came into my mind when I hear that, they have a meeting in the plaza. And then a little later, I realized that it was the Rotary marker that they were pertaining to, and not the organization itself. To these people, Rotary is just a mere marker, a symbol to them that bears little to no meaning to their lives. The question and the challenge then is how do we do it better? Now, this is just a suggestion. Before we build a rotary wheel, maybe before we build a rotary wheel in a community, let us start with a project. And not just any project, but something that will address whatever is lacking in that community. Ask around, interview people, know their stories, hopes, dreams, and fears. Then know their needs. Our projects should have a direct impact to their lives, to the lives of our beneficiaries. Otherwise, it will be for nothing. And when we launch the project, let's commemorate it with a rotary wheel. Only then will people see, or will people be able to associate the wheel with a feeling, a value. Only then can you say that your or our public image project is indeed successful. It is my hope that in the coming future, in the coming months, in the near future, that people would be able to see the rotary wheel or the rotary brand, not just a stone, not just an organization, but a beacon of hope, a symbol that will spark hope, gives inspiration, and promotes goodness. Because that is what we are feeling. That is why we are in Rotary. And that is the story that each and every one of us need to tell. It is indeed our responsibility to be able to properly tell that story. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you very much, PP Josh, for a very enlightening presentation. We invite everyone who would like to ask questions to please do so on Zoom so that you can benefit in the learning process both ways. Thank you.
Ask also the personal whys of those people who you want to invite, or why would they want to be a part of us. I would like to say yes, because we would need to know if their intentions or their objectives are aligned with the organization and in our clubs. And at the same time, if it's not, we can actually help them change their perspectives and probably collaborate in what they think. So there. Hi, Chairman John Lam. What practical tips can you give to come up with engaging and interesting content? So, well, my only tip to everyone is to share your truth. It will be engaging for many people if you share your truth, not just face value. When you do Facebook, you have to make sure that you are able to show them what it really is, and badly put, but that people won't see it as a bullshit. It's actually just being authentic and truthful to what you share in any accounts, in any type of public image efforts. Okay, so from President Eileen Perez, how often do you post in social media to make it efficient? Is there still a perfect time to post? All right, so how often do you post? As consistent as you can be, at least every other day, or if you can do it once a day. If it's still, if is there a perfect time? Well, you have to check. Okay, there is a perfect time, but it depends on your followers. It doesn't mean that people would say it's 8 or 11 or 2 or 8 p.m. again. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work for everyone. You have to actually review and research your followers for you to have perfect timing to post. PP Christie. Puro manpasan to ah. What platform is the most? It's there other option. Okay, so PP Christie, what platform is the most effective to post stories? As of now, during the pandemic, yes, it's social media, because social media can reach to many people, not only just in the Philippines but around the world. I'm stressed out by Gov Tony P. Would you agree that social media is now more effective and cost efficient compared to outdoor or traditional media insofar as projecting Rotary is concerned? Okay. Yes and no. It depends on so maybe the question was not, I was not able to read the question clearly. So the question was, would you agree that social media is now more effective and cost efficient compared to outdoor or traditional media insofar as projecting Rotary is concerned? Well, again, different public image or advertising executions, you need to know your objectives first. But if it's about cost, I cannot say kasi that social media is also cost efficient. It's I'm speaking this on a professional perspective. But in Rotary, we don't need, like, we just need the meat. We just need the story to execute it well. We don't need beautiful. So on that end, if your story is authentic, you are able to tell the story well, it will be cost effective to you than other traditional media. But again, there are other objectives of using the traditional media. And most especially, even other brands right now, even though that they put a big bulk of their budget in social media, they still use other traditional media. So there. Follow-up question, is there such thing as overposting? Yes. We call this in Tagalog, nakakaumay. So there is such thing as nakakaumay in social media. You don't want people na maumay in your posts. All right. Okay, do you follow or have some format when presenting your stories? Personally, when presenting the stories, I give a background, and then after that, I give the data, what the plan of action was, and then after that, what was the feeling or what was the end result of the project or the campaign. Okay, how many pictures is best in posting in social media? I would personally would want to say from TP Elise LC Ang, I would want to say a 4 with that square format, because when you post that 4 in Facebook, they will post all 4. But that's just a personal opinion. But usually we post 1. But again, if kulang yung 1, we can do 4. PP Floro, what are the most attractive colors in making posters and presentations? In Rotary, I can say our Rotary colors, blue, yellow, blue and yellow. Is this PP Pilarly, is this helpful? Maybe start by looking for people who you know have a heart for service and want to improve how they want to share themselves effectively. Thank you. yeah, I think it's really helpful to really find people whom you are aligned with, whom you will be one with in this journey in Rotary. Okay, so PP Don Malsi, please share some samples and standard guides for us to follow. We are not experts and need helpful, easy reference guide. Okay, I think my time is up now, but maybe I will create something and I promise to send this to the transforming presidents through Chairman John Lam.
Once more, we'd like to thank PP Josh for being able to answer most of the queries that were sent in. And we hope everyone also enjoyed his very enlightening presentation and the answers to those questions. With that, I'd now like to turn the floor over to District Secretary Carla Bejeres if she has any announcements to make. The time to do so is now.
This will be held this August 1. That's next Saturday already. So more details will be posted by our host, the Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. Okay, thank you.
And at this point, we'd now like to enjoin everyone to please sing the district song.
Together we have one voice. Doing good is always our choice. We're on a mission, the same mission. Let's make this clear like 2020 vision. Together we're for the truth, and together for the youth. We open doors of opportunities, work hard to transform communities. Yeah. Together we are one. Together we are one. Together we'll grow bigger. We'll do good, we'll do it better. We'll rise as one for everyone. The future is as bright as the sun. Together we're for the truth, and together for the youth. We open doors of opportunities, work hard to transform communities. Yeah. Together we are one. Together we are one. Service above self, make the world better. Service above self, we are one together. Service above self, make the world better. Service above self, we are one. Together for the truth, and together for the youth. We open doors of opportunities, work hard to transform communities. Yeah. Together we are one. Together we are one. Together we are one. Together we are one.
Ladies and gentlemen, all good things come to an end. So at this point in time, I would like to call on PP Archie Uy for his closing remarks.
Hello. Back then, our plan was simple. We get a place, engage the services of a caterer, promote, then we have the event. But COVID-19 came along, and this dampens our plans. Before the meeting with our then district governor-elect, I was about to say that the Rotary year is all over. But he said something profound to me. He told me that in a storm, the eagles do not fly through the storm. They fly above the storm. This kept me thinking. And while at home, resting, I come across this Proverbs 16, verse 3, where it says that we commit our plans to the Lord and you will succeed. God is really good. God is really great. Today, we were able to engage the services of 3 great speakers, not only from our district, also from our neighboring district, and one from the Northern Hemisphere. All of this, we thank the Lord Almighty for bringing all these things together. We would like to acknowledge the people and entities that made this hosting possible. First and foremost, we would like to acknowledge our District Chair for Public Image, John Lam, and also the Champion of Champions, IPP Ray Pineda, for the program content and for the encouragement. We also would like to thank our bosses, the men and women of the Rotary Club of Wakwak and of the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong, as represented by our President Ernie Lim and also President C.V. Oro. We also would like to thank past President Mariandy Chavez and his team from MDC for the online content, and of course the company, the Converge ICT, for the strong internet connection. I personally would like to thank our District Governor Tony P. Parungaw for giving me this opportunity to host this important event, and we certainly hope that we have lived up to his expectations. And lastly, we would like to thank all of you, the online viewers, for which we have this event. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong and of the Rotary Club of Wakwak, we thank you and we bid you good day.
Thank you very much, PP Archie Uy. Please don't go away. We still would like to preserve this moment for digital posterity, so we would like to request everyone who is on Zoom to please join us in smiling 8 times so that we can capture everyone who's attended this particular seminar. So please join me when I count down. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you very much for having been such really participating people. And at this point, we would now like to call our beloved governor to be able to adjourn this particular seminar. Floor is yours, sir.
Thank you to all of you for staying with us until the very end. I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to acknowledge the help of past President June Angeles, our district co-trainer, for reviewing and fine-tuning our program today. I would also like to acknowledge and pay tribute and doff my hat to our fantastic lineup of speakers. Past District Governor Ernie Choa for that top-notch, awesome presentation that was very positive and informative at the same time. To our district trainer from Ohio, Allison Fry, our Assistant Regional Public Image Coordinator, whose heartfelt presentation tugged the heartstrings of many Rotarians and answered the question of why public image matters even during these times. And of course, to our friend, past President Josh Santos, who showed us why his reputation precedes him. Looking forward to great things ahead for this young man. Thank you very much, you all. We managed to overcome initial technical challenges here on site at the start, but I think the main takeaway from this seminar is we came up with something so informative, so meaningful that you can share with your members in your respective clubs. And for that, I think we have done our job, and I congratulate the host clubs, the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong and Wakwak, as well as the District Public Image Committee for a job very well done. And my friends in Rotary, I love you all. And so, in my capacity as District Governor, pursuant to my duties and responsibilities entrusted to me by Rotary International, this District 3800 Public Image Seminar is hereby adjourned.